Okay. That's so funny because it says
Mae Krier, an original Rosie the Riveter, was born in 1926 in North Dakota. After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Mae, her sister, and a friend headed to Seattle, Washington, where Mae became a riveter for Boeing, making B-17s and B-29s for 92 cents an hour. She met Norm, her late husband, a sailor, on the dance floor in 1944. Norm was transferred to Pasco, Washington, and in April 1945 they married. She left Boeing to work for the Army engineers with Italian prisoners of war in Pasco at 83 cents an hour. Eventually they settled in Pennsylvania, where they raised their 2 children and where Mae still resides today. Mae joined other Rosies to get the first National Rosie the Riveter Day in 2017 and the Congressional Gold Medal for Rosie in 2020. During the pandemic, through her Facebook page, Honor Rosie, Mae, with the help of companies, groups, and individuals, made and mailed well over 6,000 red and white polka dot face masks. 5,000 went directly to her Honor Rosie followers. In 2022, her face mask and bandana were worn by Rosie the Rocketeer in the commander's seat of the Boeing Starliner, which traveled to the International Space Station and back. Mae continues to travel the world to promote Rosie the Riveter's legacy, and at 98 years, Mae still cuts her own grass. Now it's time to join Breaking Barriers with Mae Krier.
Geesh, hi Mae.
Hi, Deb.
So we have had some technical difficulty, but we're here at last.
Yeah, don't know what happened, but we're here.
It
Well,
happens. It happens.
I'm
So today you went to Normandy with the Best Defense Foundation, and they had with them the next generation of young people who also went. So Mae really wanted to have them on, and so we have a few of them. So Mae, if you're good with it, we're gonna welcome Amanda Thompson, Executive Director. Mae, if you're good with it, we're gonna welcome Amanda Thompson, Executive Director. Mae, if you're good with it, we're gonna welcome Amanda Thompson, Executive Director. Mae, if you're good with it, we're gonna.
Can you hear me? What is going on now? I have nothing to do with that. Can you hear me? What is going on now? I have nothing to do with that.
Hi, Amanda.
Backstage.
What is going on now? I have nothing to do with that.
Hi, Amanda.
Backstage.
What's happening anyway?
I think they're hearing it too.
Hi, Amanda.
What is
Okay.
happening?
Amanda, tell us about the Best Defense Foundation and what you do.
Well,
Tell
hi
us about
everyone.
the Best Defense Foundation and what you do.
I'm just gonna talk over it. We'll see if it works. The Best Defense Foundation.
The Best Defense Foundation and what you do.
I'm just gonna talk over it. We'll see if it works. The Best Defense Foundation. Sorry,
this is Foundation and what you do. This isn't going to work.
No,
Talk over it. We'll
I
see if it
can't
works.
even.
The
Best Defense Foundation.
Did we catch up?
Can you hear me, Amanda? Can you hear me, Amanda?
I can hear you. Yes.
Did we catch
Yeah,
up?
can you hear me, Amanda? Can you hear me, Amanda?
I can hear you. Yes.
Why is it repeating again? Can you hear me, Amanda?
Yeah, Brandy, we need
Can you
to
hear me, Amanda?
cut down.
Nope, I apologize. It seems that every time poor Miss Amanda is speaking, that it's causing the reverb, and I'm very, very sorry. but we can absolutely have Miss Amanda speak about whatever she'd like, either now or we can try to power through it, whichever you guys would like to do.
Why is that proceeding?
Either now or we can try to power through it.
I think we need to stop and just reschedule.
Why is that proceeding?
Amanda, do you have headphones?
Now, or we can try to power through it.
I think we need to stop and just reschedule.
What do you think is causing the problem, Deb?
I have no idea.
All right,
I know we've had some bad weather. We've had some bad
You and I
weather.
are talking fine together, right? You can hear me fine, can't you? Deb?
Yes.
Yeah. And why is it that we can talk together, but
I have no
it
idea.
gets muffled?
I don't know. Let's see if this matters. All right, let's see if this works with Amanda. Can you hear us, Amanda?
Deb, does that mean that our communication's all right? It's outside of our
I think it's
control?
outside. I think it's outside of us.
Miss May, while Miss Amanda's getting set up, why don't you talk about your trip to Normandy?
Oh, I loved our trip to Normandy. It was a great trip. We went with the best defense, and it was an outstanding group that I went with. And I just can't thank them enough for taking me with them. I think it was outstanding, really outstanding. And I'm anxious for Amanda to get on so I can thank her. Can you hear me, Amanda?
I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
I just want to thank you, Amanda. You just did an outstanding job with that. What a responsibility that was for you, with all of us people, and what you did. There wasn't a flaw in the whole affair. I don't believe you really did. You were amazing, and I'm just so proud. You're so young and so capable.
That just makes my day. I mean, I can't tell you what an honor it is to spend time with you and spend time with our veterans. It, has been my dream to work with World War II veterans. And honestly, these programs are the pinnacle of what I've always wanted to do with my life. So to spend time with you, not only as just a World War II buff, but as a woman, to hear you speak into me as a female leader, it's something that I will take with me forever. And one of my biggest memories from the program is when you spoke to my almost 8-year-old daughter on FaceTime. She still talks about it. She talks that you are the girl hero to her. And that means so much to me as a mom, as a leader, and she will take that with her forever too. So I'm just so proud to have you as part of our program, have you as a team. And we were so lucky to have you representing all of the women. I will say that we started out with 5 women that were supposed to go on our program. And just due to age and health and everything, Mae was our only female that went with 47 other World War II veterans, all men. But she stood out and she made known that the women were well represented. So we were all happy to have her.
But Amanda, you are everything. You represent everything we work for, what women are doing today, what they're doing with their lives and their careers. We're just so proud of what you're doing.
So, Amanda, can you tell us about the young people that came and what did they have to do to get this honor?
Yeah, so the Best Defense Foundation, we have obviously the Battlefield Return Program that brings these veterans back to where they fought. But starting last year, we started this NextGen program. We have always known the importance of bringing up the next generation to know these stories, to learn these stories, and then to perpetuate them to their generation and future generations. So we wanted to incorporate that somehow. So last year was our pilot program. We took 8 students last year, and we grew it this year. We had such amazing submissions. They had to do a video submission talking about why this history is important, what they do to preserve this history, and then how do they help veterans in their community. And that could be all generations of veterans. So we had submissions from around the world. And we take students from around the world. So we had we had 6 from the US, and then we had a couple from France. We had one from Malta, and one from Germany, which was a great addition because it added a new perspective. And they were such an incredible addition to our team. They not only helped care for the veterans, they connected with them on many, many different ways. They learned their stories. They got to know them on a personal level. And then they take those connections and relationships on afterwards and continue to tell their stories in their community.
Well, that's awesome. And thank you for coordinating. Here's some of them. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you for coordinating a few of them, some of them who were available to come on with us.
Of course.
I know it was so great, Amanda, the way they came to, each one of them in turn came to us and took good care of us older people. That's amazing when the younger generation will come and, honor us and help us and just keep us company. That was so amazing. It was very fascinating. And you know what? They make us so proud to be American, represent America, because, we hear everything bad about the teenagers and young people. And to see them, they must have left a good mark in France because they were all so well behaved, so well liked. And I just think it's so amazing to, to associate with young people like this.
They definitely give a new perspective on what the leadership will be like in generations to come. You do hear that a lot about, oh gosh, what are we leaving this world to, and how will they take the mantle? But with these students, we had no worries. I mean, we know the leaders of the future will be these students, and we couldn't be more proud of that.
And I just think it's so great because, like I said, it didn't matter whether it was a man, woman, or how old we were. They were just as great to each one of us. And I thought that was so nice. And they took turns. I know they're trained to do this for us, but they took turns of sharing their days with us. And it was so nice. I thought it was really, really exceptionally nice. Like I said, they're our future generation. We're so proud of them.
They sat through our team meetings. We had team meetings every Saturday leading up to the program for a month and a half. They sat in every Saturday meeting. They learned how to take care of our older generation. They learned how to help you guys in and out of a wheelchair and how to push a wheelchair and how to controls and all of the things. So they were learning the history along with learning how to care for someone, it's a good thing to know for anybody.
That's great.
And it teaches them to respect their parents and their grandparents as they age too. That's a good lesson for them. This is great.
So we will, Amanda, we're going to keep you with us, and we're going to bring them in one by one. And our first NextGen is Raya Kenny, who is the founder of the National Memorial to the Women Who Worked on the Home Front, who was our first guest on our first podcast. Hi, Raya.
Guys. How are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Raya, tell us, how did this trip affect your understanding of World War II? And also has your commitment changed in seeing this memorial become a reality?
I can't even really put into words how much this trip has impacted me and affected the way that I view history. I would say to walk in the footsteps of those who lived it, to stand beside them, to hold their hands, to hear their stories firsthand was something that I had never imagined, dreamed of experiencing. And so having that with me now has definitely made me all the more committed to making sure this history is memorialized forever and ever. I would say I'm always passionate about my project, but this has just made it grow exponentially. I didn't even know it was possible, but I've come back with new perspectives. I'm very, very happy.
That's great.
The night before the trip, or when Raya was picked, she called me right away, so excited that she was going to go to Normandy. That was so cute. I met Raya when she was in the 5th grade. That didn't meet her at the time, but she wrote to me right away when she started working on this memorial. And it was so funny. I thought 5th grade, she's going to forget it in a couple of weeks or so. Here she is, a college graduate, and look at how far she's come. Isn't that amazing for a young person?
Can you give us an update on the memorial? Where are you at now?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're working on our second bill, HR 8307, in the House of Representatives. So we've been hard at work lobbying and telling everybody about what we're trying to do as we're trying to get the memorial as close as possible to the already existing World War II memorial. And it's going really well. We have a lot of co-sponsors. We're really close to reaching our goal number and growing from there. And then we're also working on Senate outreach, coalition outreach. We're trying to get some Rosies to sign on to our letter to show that there's grassroots effort behind it and that, these are real women we're memorializing, like you, Mae. And it's just been a whirlwind of work, but a lot of progress has been made. And I'm really, really proud of everything that me and my team and, the Best Defense Foundation has allowed me to do and to grow. I'm really, really glad.
So tell us what our followers can do to help you.
Ooh, absolutely. If you're listening in any of your states, please, I urge you to reach out to your state representatives and ask them to support HR 8307. Representatives really like hearing from their constituents. You have a strong voice, and I always urge you to use it. And then secondly, find the Rosies in your family and see if you can get those stories down, written, orally. We want to make sure that we can preserve those histories as they're still around to be told. I think having those firsthand perspectives are paramount to continuing the cycle of remembrance.
As Amanda is wonderful for that age. I call her our new and shining star. I mean, to teach an example of what the young people can do if they don't give up.
It's really incredible. She showed an extreme amount of purpose in her proposal video. We actually didn't know that she was connected to you until later on. So, that was an added bonus for her to already have that relationship built. So it was amazing to hear that.
Well, Raya, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's so good to see all your bright and happy faces.
Well, the gremlins are gone, so we're good. Thank you, Raya. You just go to the green room and wait until Brandy says you can go. Next, we want to invite Parker Burns. Hello, Parker.
Hello. How are you guys doing today?
Hi, Parker. Thank you for how you took care of all of us on the trip. I think
thank you for everything. It was an honor to be there with all of you.
Well, thank you. Tell us about it. Tell us how you felt. What was a highlight of your trip?
Yeah, one of the highlights was on June 4th, I believe. We were able to get some private time at the U.S. cemetery. So we got to go there before it opened. We had taps, played the national anthem, and it was just some nice private time before we got to walk among the graves, which, was just like a sea of them. It kind of puts into perspective the American sacrifice that was made there. And then one of our projects as students was to do a research project on someone who was buried within the Normandy American Cemetery. And it was great because I got to choose someone who's actually from my hometown and community, and his name's written on our monument in town. So it was nice to be able to kind of carry my community overseas and represent, the community that built me and helped me get to the place I am today. So his name was George Bulgaris, and he was killed not on D-Day, but in the months after in July. So it was great to read his eulogy right by his headstone, pay my respects, and just be there right next to his gravestone. Because after researching, you feel like he's a part of you almost. To be able to do that for him, my family, my community, his family, it was just an honor to be able to be that person. So I can't thank the Best Defense Foundation enough for having that opportunity to be there and pay my respects to all those who served.
Where are you from, Parker?
I'm from a small town called Newbury in Massachusetts, small farm town. So yeah, it's a great place.
Well, you realize, Parker, how you represent American people. Our friends must have felt about you young people. we hear the news is always saying how bad everything is. And I mean, what a nice thing it was for you young people to come there and show them how you honor them, how polite you are, how good you are. I mean, that's such a giant step for America as a shining star for America. And we're proud of you, very proud of you. You're our future leaders, and that's so important. Keep doing what you're doing. It's so important.
Thank you very much, Mae. It's an honor to hear that from you. Truly, it's the highest regard I can get. And I'm just trying to do our generation good and show them that we can have a good in this world and what we need to do going forward to preserve the stories of men and women such as yourself who made great sacrifices to have where we are today, enjoying the freedom that we have and the life that we have, because it's important to hear the stories.
Parker, before you went, were you aware of how much of the contribution that women made, the Rosie the Riveters? Were you familiar with that before you went and met Mae?
Not as much, but one of my great grandmothers actually was down in Baltimore, Maryland at the Martin aircraft factory who started building planes there. So it was nice to be able to connect to Mae over there and kind of relate and just talk about that, because it is definitely an overlooked part of the war effort, because without them, we wouldn't have won. Simple as that. So to have women like Mae, in the factories, building the planes, building the ammunition, what we needed for the guys, men and women up front in the lines, it's important to have those histories be logged, be recorded, because without them, it wouldn't have happened. So I was aware just because my family connection, but I know a lot of people aren't, which is truly saddened. It's because it's such an important and crucial part of our history.
That's nice to hear this from a man. I mean, thank you, Parker. That was nice. Sometimes we have to remind them of what we did, because up until 1941, it was a man's world. They didn't realize how capable American women were. And we certainly showed them what we could do, what we were capable of. Look at Amanda. I use Amanda as a good example of what women can do today.
Well, thank you very much, Parker, for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the honor of being here. It was a wonderful time.
Great.
Well, thank you for what you did. You were a very nice young man.
Thank you,
Your
Mae.
mother
Good
must-
to see you again.
Okay, our next guest is Maddie Sprain. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
Hello, hi. So good to see everybody.
How are you, Maddie? I think of the night in the castle when we sat with Calvin. I thought that was a nice conversation between the two. Not nice. I didn't even know that he was going to get such a beautiful award during his ceremony. He was so quiet, and what a gentleman
he was. So
and you're just great. You brought the best out of him, Maddie.
I'm still in communications with him. I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to meet him. He is incredible. There's no other words to describe Calvin, but incredible. I love him.
He is a really good gentleman. But also, Maddie, we're sitting here talking about you young people. We're just so proud of you, how well you represented our country. I mean, when here we are in France, and I said, you were everything that we wanted you to be. You were polite. You were so nice. You were so helpful. You were everything that we wanted our young people to be. And you certainly showed France what you were, what you are.
Thank you. That means the world to me.
So, Maddie, tell us how did the trip to Normandy affect your life and the understanding of World War II?
So the program just put everything into perspective for me. I had two great uncles that fought over there. So seeing things that they saw, it was so eye-opening. And then I knew a little bit about the Riveters before, but meeting Mae just put the whole picture together. I knew what they did. I know what she did. And it was just incredible to hear all the stories from all of them and hear it all come to me, be in front of me, being there in real life. It was incredible. There's just no other words. It was life-changing, and I'll never forget it.
Maddie, didn't you tell me you teach?
Yes, I'm going to be a teacher. Yep.
I
I'm
thought
gonna
you.
hopefully teach either elementary education or 6th grade, 7th grade history. So I'm hoping.
Well, you plant a lot of seeds. I mean, they need a good teacher, and I think it's wonderful what the teachers do for young people.
Absolutely. I agree. I feel like it truly is my job. It's my responsibility to pass on Mae's story, to pass on Kelvin's story, to pass on the thousands of others. It's going to come up to me for the next generations to hear that, and having that on my hands and having this experience, it's going to make it all so much easier and so much more special to tell the next generations about what Mae did, about what the veterans did.
That's
Well,
important.
you're so enjoyable. This year, you spent the one whole trip with me, and I just was so enjoyable. You're so well. You speak to me. You're so well informed, and you are so willing to share, and you just got beautiful personality.
Thank you, Mae. I loved having all of our stories about the Midwest and hearing what you did. Everything those bus trips, the bus times were the best times.
That's great. Well,
You
Maddie,
learn a lot.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
Thank you.
allowing me to be here.
It was
All
a
right.
pleasure sharing that trip with you.
Best Defense for bringing me on this program. Like none of this would happen without them, and I would never have met Mae without them. And now I feel like I got another grandma. So
Now you know you can do it. We can do it, right?
yes, we can do it.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you so much.
So next we're going to bring in Brendan Lang. Hi, Brendan.
Good
Hi,
evening. How are
Brendan.
you guys? Mae, it's so good to see you again.
How you doing?
I'm doing outstanding. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, well, you tell us about how you felt about the trip and all about it. Tell us what your opinion was. What you enjoy? What was your highlights? Things like that.
Absolutely. I feel like the only word to describe the program for me was overwhelming. Being able to walk in the footsteps that those men and women walked and being able to talk to them and hear their stories was such an amazing opportunity. And being able to go to extremely special places like the American Cemetery in Normandy and learn about all the different soldiers that were buried there. It was just an amazing opportunity. And that was one of my favorite experiences because it really just brought things into perspective on how much was lost that day and how much was sacrificed and how important it is to never forget it. Because as much as I have researched about World War II, I feel like it really put things into perspective being there and witnessing it.
Well, you know, Brandon, I worked in World War II, and you probably know more about it than I do. You studied it. Where are you from, Brendan? Where's your hometown?
I am from a small town on the east coast of New Jersey.
And which town?
I
live just across. Where?
I'm from Wall Township, County.
Okay, well, I live right across the river from Trenton.
I'm going to school at TCNJ. I'm going to school right in Trenton, so that's awesome to hear. I gotta come up and visit.
I remember right. You told me that. If I remember that, we heard so many stories, and it was just so amazing with all of the things we learned from you as well as you learned from us, and that is so interesting because you're from all different walks of life, all different states, and look at how well you all got along. I just thought that was so amazing. And you didn't seem to matter whether you were on our bus or somebody else's bus or whether we were here that day. I'm not sure how you didn't travel with us all the time, did you? I don't think that they did.
We switched
I know
them every day. We switched them every day so that they could get to know different veterans each day.
What was that, Amanda?
We switched them every day so that they could get to know new veterans every day.
I
So
think
that
you
was
did that with the adults too, didn't you?
some
I
of us.
thought that.
Some of us.
I thought that's so rewarding for you, Amanda, to hear these young people, know these young people. And I think that means that you have to be the smartest, the best. You have to be such a well-rounded person to be picked for this trip. And I thought that was so amazing. And I think that's really wonderful. You must be awfully proud of yourself because, you, like I said to the others, you're the new leaders of our country. And I'm so proud to see what kind of people you are. You honor and respect, and that's so important.
Thank you,
Amanda.
We purposely picked students that were not necessarily World War II know-it-alls, but were well-rounded and could learn and then take this back and use it in a new way. There's lots of kids who obviously would have loved this opportunity, but we wanted to get different kids from all walks of life to kind of round out what we see the future as. And these kids were excellent at that.
One of the young men that spoke, I think he might have been from Germany, I forget. But when he was done speaking, I said, "You didn't even mention the women." And he apologized. He felt really bad because I think that, they're clueless about what the women do. It's all about the men and what, they've fought the battle. Of course, I speak up about what women do anymore. I mean, it's only fair that they recognize what we've done too. And I think that was so nice. I would just love to listen to the different, like you, Brendan, the different ones that would come and talk to us and tell us their stories, but also listen to us. That's amazing for young people to be, so caring and talk to us older people. I mean, because I know that there's a lot of years in there that we, don't understand. Like me at my age, I don't understand computers, things like that. So, I mean, it's just wonderful what you young people are doing. And we're very proud of you. But the most important thing is you show such great respect. And, I was raised on respect. My parents, we respected our parents, our country, our flag. We were raised on respect. And I think that's so important. I think that's what we're missing now. If you respect yourself, you respect everything else too, and I think that's important. And I'm sure they wouldn't have. The younger ones had that quality.
Brendan, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And what are you going to do when you get out of? What are you going to school for?
I'm going to school for criminology. I'm looking to go into law enforcement.
All right. Well, good for you. We need good ones. All right. Listen, Thank you so much, Brendan, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking.
Great to see you guys. Hopefully see you soon.
Okay. We have one more person, Clementine. Let's bring on Clementine. There we go.
Hi, Clementine.
Hi. It's such an honor for me to be present amongst all three of you. You're women that I look up to in so many different ways, and to have been invited here is just such an incredible honor. So thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. Tell us.
Go ahead, Dan.
Tell us how this trip to Normandy. What effect did it have on your life and your understanding of World War II?
Well, this trip had many different effects on my life, and
can you speak a little louder?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm Clementine, and this trip, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. This trip had so many effects on me, the same way that I'm sure it affected everyone very deeply, because in a way we kind of rewrote history, but through a more peaceful path. And I thought it was so beautiful to restore the memories of these veterans, especially because the 80th anniversary is also one of the last decades where we'll have as many veterans as we did. So to be able to show them a more peaceful vision of France and of Normandy was beautiful, but also very touching for me because I am French. So I'm of French origin, but I live in the United States. So to have been able to do that trip and to walk amongst American soldiers, but also to see French people cry while pushing the veterans on the wheelchairs was for me a very powerful moment, not only because it portrayed such a beautiful relationship that France and the United States have, but also it portrayed an image of peace and of love. And I think in a current world where we see we're in pretty fragile situations everywhere, I think it's important that we remember that love and peace should always be what we have to push forward. And I know this trip for me was so life-changing because it gave me a sense of purpose. And I think it did that for, I don't want to speak for all of the NextGen members because they're all so well spoken and I look up to them the same way that I look up to you. But for me, it gave me a purpose to keep on fighting and to, in a way, fix our world because my generation was born in such a difficult period, not only looking at geopolitical situations, but also environmental. And those are issues that we definitely have to look up at heroes such as Mae Krier, but also all of the other veterans, because they are the purest carriers of wisdom. And if we want to learn and if we want to create a better society for the next generation to come, then we have to make sure that we don't forget the valuable lessons that can be transmitted through all of these veterans, because they saw they saw the world in one of the most difficult periods that it has ever happened and existed. And we mustn't forget. And if we want to rebuild a better world, we have to follow their footsteps and their bravery.
Clementine, I'm going back to the Netherlands shortly. I've been there before, but they do the
That's
same
wonderful.
thing on a very smaller scale. And I love the way that the families will take care of a grave. If the family, when one dies, another member of the family takes care of that grave. And it's so emotional. Of course, it's more, when you go to the Netherlands, it's not as large as the Normandy affairs, but it's so meaningful. And I mean, people have to realize how well they're taking care of our veterans that are at the graves. And that's very emotional. And I enjoy going there.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful trip.
Were you born in France?
I was born in Paris. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What brought you to America? Are you there?
Oh, sorry?
What was that county?
Well, my parents work in French Foreign Services, so I grew up moving pretty frequently, and that brought me to the United States. Yes.
That's such a nice story. You know, we just love the way you treated us older people. You know, this is hard.
The only way that we deserve to be treated. You see,
but that's
you
amazing.
deserve the absolute world because you gave us our world.
Well, you're a whole different world than when I grew up in. You have no idea what my world was like when I was born. But I mean, we live with whatever generation as the generations change, you've got to change. We're like willow trees. If we don't bend, we break. You know, so a lot of the older people don't want to change, and that's sad. That's really sad. So we're, like I said, we're young people.
Clementine, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Deborah.
And what you said was it was beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And have a good rest of your day.
You too.
And keep on doing what you're doing because we need more people like that. So thank you.
Thank you. You too. That applies to you, especially you. You're our future leaders, and we need you bad. We got to straighten this country out.
We do need to straighten things up worldwide.
All right. Thank you, Clementine.
Thank you, Clementine. Amanda, that was so sweet. I mean, you're such a nice leader with these young people. No, they really like you. That's nice. Sure. That's so nice.
Amanda, tell us what you think about all of these young people and, you know, the trip. How did that go for you?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be happier. It's amazing. It gives me hope for the future. When I was their age, I would have jumped at a chance at a program like this. I was kind of their, you know, knowledge and perspective of World War II and history. And I wanted to just soak it all in. And so I would have jumped at this chance. So I'm glad that I'm able to be a part of offering that to the next generation. This is my third time going to Normandy. Every year it gets bigger. The 80th was by far the biggest, and definitely challenging to bring 48 centenarians or centurions overseas. But, seeing their smiles and seeing their appreciation, seeing the French appreciation, people just rushing to shake their hand and say thank you. It just is overwhelming. It's emotionally exhausting. It's physically exhausting, as I'm sure everybody took a major.
Amanda, tell us about. I'm sorry. Tell us about how you get all of your volunteers. I found that so interesting.
Yeah,
you have so many volunteers and helpers.
We do. So we only have 2 paid staff. Myself and our founder are the only paid staff, and the rest are volunteers. And we really find our volunteers through grassroots. Lots of people write in, they sign up for our application. And 90% of our volunteers are veterans themselves. So it's nice because they already have that understanding of life in the military. And then they create that bond with their veteran that they care for on the program. But yeah, it's very grassroots. We don't put out a large call for volunteers because we just get a large influx of people wanting to help and wanting to share in this amazing opportunity. And it's hard work. It's not easy. It's really exhausting. Yeah, we work very, very hard, but the team is just amazing. They're hardworking, and they know that it's all about the veterans and it's not about us. And that is what we strive for every single program. And we'll be going to the Netherlands too, so we'll see you there.
Yeah, I'm going in September again with the group. But it's so fascinating because some of the people, 2 is a different, well, at least 2 that I remember. They asked me, one man asked me would I talk to his daughters. He got him on the phone. Another man asked me would I talk to his mother, and they got her on the phone. And things like that. That's so nice. That must mean that they enjoy you as well as we enjoy them. That's so important.
Absolutely.
But like I said, we work together. I just had the most wonderful time, and outside there, you are a great, great organization, and you're so well organized. Unbelievable.
Thank you. I always say we just have to be like the ducks on the water where we're swimming and our legs are going like this, but we have to look good on the top.
Just have to keep them in a row, right? Keep your ducks in a row. It was great, Amanda, talking to you again. I just love talking to you when we're over there. I like what you do. I just think it's outstanding for you. You're such a young woman to take on that responsibility that you had. That's a lot of responsibility. I watched some of those men getting off the bus. They almost had to carry them on and carry them off. But I just think it's the most wonderful thing for them because it's kind of like their last hurrah. Like people say, well, what if they get sick? What if they die? I said, well, they'll die happy because this is their last wish, more or less. And I think that's important.
Yeah. What was your most memorable part of the program?
Oh, so many. I had such a good time. One of the things, 2 things in particular. When we got off the plane in Deauville, I just hugged the queen. I call her the queen, the leader's wife. I don't know her name, but I just hugged her and I thought, I'm not sure that's protocol, but that's me. That was when she's up on the stage, she threw me a kiss. So I didn't do too much damage. But the fun I had was the day on the beach with all those Jeeps. Were you riding in one of those Jeeps?
Yes, I was.
I thought that was so like being a kid again. And I love that. We didn't do that before when I was in Normandy.
Yeah, that's a special treat. I don't think a lot of people get to do that. So we had over 100 World War II era Jeeps.
Yeah, and that was fun. And we had a reenactor driving this, and she's a beauty. And boy, she can shift it down so you really go with that Jeep. But the only thing that I wish we could have done, and I know you can't do everything, was a Saint Marie Lagief. How do you say that? I just love the gift shops in that little community. I wish we'd have been able to spend some more time, but there was a few of us when we went before, but now with so many, you can't, you just can't do everything, can't do these things. But those gift shops and those people that mill around that little community are great.
Yeah, we had planned that, but we weren't expecting 2.5 million people to show up in Normandy. So,
I imagine on a regular when it's not like the 75th or the 80th, I imagine it's a lot different. You don't have the crowd.
Yes,
When I went before for the 75th, we were just a small group and we just had a great time.
yes,
But
it was.
Everything.
It was. The crowds were just I've never seen anything like the crowds that showed up, but it was incredible to see that many people who had come out to see you guys.
I know. Everything about it. There's everything was so amazing and so wonderful. I mean, there's not a complaint in the world about what took place. And I think that's nice when you've got that size of group. How many was the total there, Amanda? How many was the total of including your room?
Well, depending on the day, we had upwards of 180, and then towards the end of the program, some people went home, so it was like 150. So 150 traveling around every day on back roads and farm roads is in big chart buses. We were very noticeable whenever we went in.
No.
Anyway.
And now, do you work at this year round now, or is this what you do?
Yeah, this is my full-time job. Like I said, Donnie and I are the only paid staff, so we're on full-time. We do this year-round. We plan other programs. We have other battlefield return programs, and then we do our transition program, which helps newly transitioning military members that are in special forces, so Navy SEALs, Army Rangers. They can go to a special retreat that we host for mental health and really transitioning out of the military is what we focus on.
Danny was such a pleasure too. I thought you can tell him I said that.
I will.
But he was so nice with me, and I thought that was so nice. When I complained about the women not being recognized, he took up on it right away and started
changed very quickly.
Well, Amanda, thank you for taking such good care of Mae. She had a wonderful time, and
it was our honor.
You guys really did a great job, so thank you.
Thank you. It was great to
thank you, man.
Me.
Keep up. Keep up the good work. Wonderful job.
Thanks,
we're proud of you.
And thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We're going to let you go to the green room. Wait for us there.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Was it worth the mix up in the beginning?
Absolutely. We got there. We got there. Yeah. Phew, Mae, I didn't think this was going to happen.
I didn't either. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know.
It's a gremlin.
Because it wasn't coming up at all like it used to.
We'll just call it the Gremlins. So that was a really good show.
It was. It was so good to see Amanda again. That was nice. But she's got her hands full. She does such a good job.
Yes, she does. So with that, I guess we need to power up, huh?
Boy, I'll tell you, I need something.
And then we'll have a drink. So.
Well, it's fine when everything works for me, but when it doesn't work, are we off the air now, Deb?
No, we're not. We're still live, but but it wasn't you. It was just whatever was happening.
I don't think it was me. But you told me, check most everything.
Yep, that's right. So anyway, let's power up.
Okay, we can do it.
Power up. We can do it. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and be kind to one another. Bye.
Thank you.